Hey guys, it's Jordan from Treasure Theory, where we talk about all things cards and collectibles, but mostly One Piece these days, because we're on a One Piece bender at the moment. But guys, I thought we'd just jump right into it in today's video, and take a look at the OP-14 prices, see how things have been looking right now with the market. I also want to compare OP-14 to some of the previous sets that came out, and also I want to talk a little bit about EBO3 as well. So lots of really great information, mainly going to be a market watch video, but before we get into it, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be super great. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first of all, guys, quick question. What are your thoughts on OP-14? I think OP-14 definitely is a pretty good set. I think that if we're going to compare it from OP-12 to 13 to 14, I would definitely say OP-14 comes into a close second. Obviously, comparing it to Carrying On as well, which is OP-13, I mean, you can't really compare the majority of the sets in the One Piece TCG to this set. This set is absolutely mind-blowing. We've got the red mangas, the regular mangas, the gold and silver SPs of Shanks. We've got the wanted posters. We had the God packs. Bandai was just stepping it up at for their final set of the year, I think. They really just wanted to go out with a bang, and a bang they did. So, obviously, oh, and I didn't include these really nice-looking SPs here as well. But, yeah, OP-13 is not comparable to OP-14, but comparing it to OP-12, you know, I definitely think it rivals it. I do think it's probably even a little better. The sets are kind of similar in a way, you know, with what they offer, but personally, I find that they really messed up with the manga Bani as opposed to the, you know, Mihawk manga, which, by the way, I don't think is the best manga either. I still kind of don't really like the look of this card. I know that's just a personal opinion, but in terms of price action, you know, we can see the card has already dropped, which is very typical when a new set comes out, but we're seeing that it's going for about $14.50 right now. I could see it going down a little bit more, but we'll have to wait and see. This market has been pretty unpredictable. But comparing it to OP-12, you know, we've obviously got the gold and silver Teach cards. With OP-14, we've got the gold and silver buggy cards. And just comparing the gold prices here, we can see that the gold Blackbeard card is going for about $1,200 US, so roughly about 2,000-ish Canadian. I definitely think that's not correct. I'm definitely seeing people try to sell it for a little bit more, and 3,000 for PSA 10s. I'm definitely seeing a lot of people trying to sell this buggy for $3,000 plus. Now, do I think it's worth it? No, I don't think currently the price is worth it. I mean, let's actually compare all three gold cards right now. So Blackbeard, as we saw, was $1,200, and we look at the OP-13 gold Shanks. Most recent sale, that's definitely Japanese. Is that Japanese? Yeah, of course it is. Most recent sales are kind of hovering around the same. The market price is saying about $1,500. I am seeing people try to sell for $2,000. The gold cards seem to be hovering around $2,000 Canadian. That's not PSA 10, of course, but I think that's a good rough estimate for where this is going. So I do think Buggy currently is overpriced at the moment. Just quickly taking a look at the silver versions of these cards, we can see that the silver Blackbeard is, most recent sale was $1,250. People are trying to pump this guy up a bit, but market price is saying about $720, so about $1,000 Canadian. I actually bought this Shanks here for $1,000 Canadian, so technically that, what is that, $750? $800 US. Most recent sales are going for about $1,500 right now. We have seen the Shanks go up, so that's been super nice to see. And honestly, I'm personally just on a bender for the silver cards, because the gold cards are just way too expensive, and these seem a little more in reach. But yeah, we can see that the silver buggy is also around $1,500. Now, the interesting thing about this set is that some cards have definitely been like shooting way up, while others have been kind of stagnating, and they're the ones you'd expect, right? And I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but like, for example, the Zoro SP, the EBO4 SP shoot right up, which we all expected. But when we compare it to the other EBO4 cards, like the Eustace Kid, which is a gorgeous looking card, by the way, I mean, this card tanked 28%, right? It's around $200 US right now. And same thing for the Weevil. Now, why do I think this? I think it's because, although they're gorgeous looking cards, we have to remember that characters are relevant. This card has Zoro and Sanji, okay? And it's really kind of showing their relationship in the show and in the manga and stuff. So, like, obviously, this was a good catch. It's a great card. And, sorry, looking at the price, we can see that people are trying to sell this for about $1,100, which seems pretty accurate to me from what I've been seeing. You know, when we compare that to the OP-12 SPs, you know, obviously they had some really nice SPs. We had these monochrome looking SPs. The Zoro's definitely shot up a bit. It's about almost $300 US right now. But, like, again, you know, Zoro, are we kind of understanding here. You know, certain characters matter. Zoro's a Straw Hat. Zoro's a famous Straw Hat. He's a popular Straw Hat. Then we look at something like Ace, who still is relevant, still is a great character, but obviously can't really compare to Zoro, it seems. Most recent sale was $86. Is that Japanese? It's a lightly played, okay, but still, you know, we've got a bit of a drop there when it comes to the SPs. And then when we switch over to OP-13, we can see that's a completely different situation because with OP-13, we've got these even more insanely awesome looking SPs where it's kind of like a monochrome combination of other SPs, and market price is saying it's about $577, close to $600, a $285 price increase in the last 3 months. So, you know, definitely a big difference here. And again, OP-13 just has a lot more to offer, but OP-14 comes with a lot of nice cards. You know, they also came with the manga event cards. We got 2 of them in here. There was 2 in OP-12 as well. As we can see, we had the Demon Aura one, which is a really nice card. I got that somewhere. I recently had that come in the mail, but you know, it's gone up about 75%. It's had a couple of bumps here and there. I do think the manga event cards are just gorgeous cards to have. You know, like the Boof Burst, still got that on the side here. That's been going up steadily, 170% in the last 3 months, and it's still a good buy. It's still $112. Now, the only manga event card we got in this set was Divine Departure, but it's still a solid-looking card. I just think all the manga event cards are just great, to be honest. But, you know, it's going for about $144 US. Now, obviously, you'll frighten me. Boa's on this card. This is definitely going to be an expensive card. I mean, will it be the most expensive manga card? No, I don't think so. I do think the Gum Gum Giant card is probably going to hold that spot. PRBO2 was the set this came from, and PRB sets are not printed as much. Like, there's just not as much supply given out, so technically with the rules of supply and demand, I do think the Gum Gum Giant should probably hold next to Gear 2 Luffy, which is around $300. Now, obviously, this is less than the Boa right now, but again, Boa's up there. I mean, Boa may actually outpace the Gear 2 manga. We'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, I mean, Boa's on it. Waifu tax. Let's be real. We also got Ground Death as well. I don't think Ground Death's going to be as expensive as some of the other manga event cards. I think it'll probably fit in place with the proper prices of everything else. But then we move down the list a bit, and we've got these other SPs that are just completely blowing people's minds. They're super gorgeous. I really am a big fan of the backdrop that Bandai does. It's very abstract. It's just a beautiful piece of work, and obviously the Boa one has gone up a lot. This card's probably one of the more expensive cards we've been seeing in the set. It's gone up 21%. Again, waifu tax has just been insane here at about $1,000, $1,100 for this SP, which is insanely high. One of the most expensive SPs with this backdrop, like this specific type of SP. Definitely one of the more pricey ones out there. Then, of course, we've got the Perona as well, which is super nice. This card's been going up a little bit. There was a bit of a dip there, but that's just when the set released. But this card's going for about $300 US, give or take. And, you know, this Mihawk has a much better pose than the manga, if you ask me, the manga Mihawk. But we can see the price dropped. It picked up a little bit. But it's interesting to see how the prices of the SPs in this set are, like, all over the place. Like, waifu text seems to always kick in. It always seems to win. And, like, I don't understand how this Eustace Kid card is the price it is. It's such a phenomenal card. I really thought this card was going to be probably hovering around $300, $400. It's just a fantastic piece of work, and the EBO4 cards are just stunning. But, no, you know, the market is telling us they don't really think it's worth it, and fair enough, you know? That's, like, a big thing with One Piece and TCGs in general, brands in general, you know? It's all about the IP, it's about the characters, right? It's just like Pokemon, you know? It's like Gengar's a lot more popular than Ninetales, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like straightforward, common sense sort of stuff. But overall, I think OP-14 was a pretty solid set. And let's actually kind of just put them all in together so we can kind of just look at them all. But yeah, as we can see here, like the red manga backdrops, they're just incredibly expensive, incredibly rare, huge demand. I'm pretty sure these are the top cards in the entire TCG right now. So, you know, it's really hard to compare these to any other set because they're just completely different. But it is interesting to see how the gold buggy is kind of outpacing the manga in the OP-14 set, which I was already saying is going to become a new trend. You know, we're going to really start seeing this happen. We've already seen it with We're seeing it with OP-12. We're seeing it with OP-04 with the Boa SP. SPs are just totally dominating, you know, like the way they've just created this whole setup has just been super interesting. Now, how they approach the kind of like scarcity and rarity of the Bandai set's going to be interesting. Like I said, I thought the SPs are constantly changing. Like this style feels a lot different. Like these styles, they come with a gold trim. They were introducing this sort of stuff in PRBO2 with a couple of cards. There have been other cards as well, and I'm not referring to like the gold leader cards, but there's just kind of like a new enhanced style where there feels like a little bit of a gold trim. Like when you have the card, you can see what I'm talking about. But guys, overall, I do think OP-14 is a pretty solid set, and I'm really curious to see where it goes from here. Now, just speaking a little bit about EBO3, like, I do think EBO3 is probably going to break the One Piece TCG market. I think, you know, we're going to see a big price spike with these cards, and I think things are about to get crazy. I think these are super gorgeous cards, and again, we're getting new kind of SPs again. These, like, portrait-style SPs. It seems like everything behind the characters here are almost like a mirror, you know, representing their interests and stuff like that. I do think EBO3 is going to be out of the water for everybody. I think if you can even get one of these, it's going to be crazy. Like, you're going to be lucky if you can get the EBO3 box, okay? Especially if you can get it under the current prices that it's going for, which, what is that right now? Which it does seem to be dropping a bit, which is good, but it's still pretty high at $464 US, which is pretty insane if you ask me, considering they're usually about $150 US. So maybe we'll see a bit of a price drop there. We'll have to wait and see. But guys, EBO3 is going to... It's going to break things, guys. It's going to break records. I do think afterwards there's probably going to be a bit of a slump. I think OP-15's not going to really... I don't think OP-15's really going to compare to EBO3. I think people are going to be like, okay, I lost all my money to the waifus. Maybe there's a bit of a slump, and then we'll see what happens with OP-16 onwards. But, yeah, guys, overall, that's kind of my current market watch, just comparing the more recent sets. Let me know your thoughts down in the description below. Did you guys get anything good from the OP-14 set? Let me know, and video should pop on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.